Morning all. How we doing? Just quickly before the market opens, just taking a quick trade on the pound US dollar. I just spotted this morning while I was just flicking through the charts. We've got this nice support resistance area down here from this low down there and this low here. So we've got this zone here where basically we've rejected 3 times so far. So this is the 4th attempt to get through this level. So if this holds here, which it's just tapped into the lows there and just taken it out by a couple of pips. If this holds here, we're obviously rejecting this zone. So we could get a very nice move up from this. So it's a bit too far away on M15 and M5 to get an entry because we've just collapsed basically this morning. So I've just taken a quick entry here as we just started to bounce off of this bottom level. And then I've got an add-on position when we get back up out of this zone and then target up here. Nice, easy, sort of somewhere between a 5 to 10 risk reward on this, but nice zone, really nice zone down here for this pair. So just taking that long. Morning, Andy. Morning, Ladder. It's funny calling someone Ladder. Yeah, so just taking that pound US dollar. Euro yen that I've got on from yesterday. My TP basically was literally, I put it in the Telegram group this morning. My TP was literally there. Yeah, I thought I'll stick it a decent amount above these lows just to take into account the spread. So if it double bottoms off the previous day's low, I'll get the bounce and I'll get the TP. And what did it do? It touched my TP, literally touched it twice, missed my TP by a spread and pulled off. So, yeah, typical. So I've moved my TP down to this next level, support resistance down here. We've got a little accumulation there. So this is potentially where we're going to meet the next level of support. So if they're not going to give it to me there, I'm either going to break even on it or I'm just going to make an extra 30%. Just because I hate them. Morning, Diamond. Yeah, so that was annoying this morning. But anyway, I'll leave that in there. So it's a support. Anyway, no ADRs this morning. Very quiet Asian session. It wasn't that quiet, actually. We had not a bad amount of movement during Asia, but nothing drastic. Nothing's moved particularly far at all today. The Aussies were particularly quiet in Asia. So yeah, not a lot of movement so far across the board, as you can see. So very, very quiet session for Asia. Indices yesterday. Did well on the indices in the end yesterday after that choppy start. But yesterday, basically, we just had a rotation day. So we opened there, rotated up and down, came back, and we basically closed out as a ever so slight bullish spinning top yesterday. So pretty dull day yesterday. Big strong push up this morning on the DAX at the open. So we have now done the gap fill. And we have run into this resistance, so support. So 2 trains of thought here. Obviously, we're back inside this range again, which makes it obviously difficult to know where on earth we're going to go today. But market structure for the last 2 weeks is bearish. So potentially a push up today and then a rejection back down if we're going to continue this bearish move. Or obviously, the alternative is this is a double bottom bounce. Well, not a double bottom bounce, almost a double bottom bounce, but it's a bounce off of support. And we are going to undo this move. And obviously we could also just go back into this range again. So very, very difficult to determine from the daily any directional bias today. We've had a decent push up. Yeah. So if you look at the candlesticks, the previous candlesticks, yeah, the wicks from where we closed and opened. So decent push up, decent push up, decent push up, decent push up, decent push up. Yeah. So these sorts of moves tend to have that sort of distance. Yeah. And we've pretty much done it today. So if we're going to have a bear day today, this is probably around the extent of where we will go logically. So short at the open, potentially. So for me, I'm looking for a continuation bear move down, i.e. we've pulled up 50% of this trade, this move already. So perfect for shorts. And when we do have a pull off the highs, typically the wicks tend to be around about the length that we've done already. So logically today looks like a short day to start with. So looking for shorts at the open, maybe even a retest of those highs from yesterday, but we'll see. I've got 2 minutes to the open. Yeah, so no ADRs. There's nothing on the hourly RSIs this morning either, all flat, sideways, nothing going on at all. And we've got a few pairs on the 4 hours, which have hit as well. So I'll have a look at those once the market's opened, and we'll whiz through them. But not a lot really going on. The Euro US dollar that I took off yesterday, glad I took it off where I did, because it came up, but it only double topped. Didn't even get up to resistance. And then we've pushed back down and we've taken out the lows, but we haven't gone anywhere for 2 days on that one. And the Euro Swiss that I took off, done the same sort of thing. So I took that one off at break even because I didn't want to be overexposed. We've immediately then obviously put in tweezer tops and reversed, but again, just down to the lows. So Euro sort of looking like it wants to go higher, but just can't do it. Managed to put in a new low yesterday as well. So not looking great for the Euro, although it is extended across quite a few pairs at the moment. Euro pound is going up very well, and obviously I've just taken that long on the pound US, but we'll see. That might well stop out. It was a bit of a risky trade down here. I'm basically playing off this double bottom. It'll either hold or it won't. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But fairly good punt. Okay, market's open. Big spiky move out of the DAX. Trading the 1 hour, the 1 minute again today. Looks like it wants to go short at the open, doesn't it? Just to quickly look at the other indices as well, what we did yesterday. Nasdaq, similar, larger spinning top basically, just a basic wide body, pretty normal candlestick. Took out the lows, double bottoms, pushed up, pulled off the highs. So yeah, but again, all indices slightly bearish now. Again, but is this a pullback? Or is this next leg down? Who knows? Going sell stop under the lows. Trying an initial short. And the Dow, very similar. So kind of inside bar really, apart from the gap. So pushing up at the open on the indices by the looks of things. Whoops. How did everybody else do yesterday? If you were trading the indices, did you come out up, down, middle? Those last two trades were saviours yesterday. I haven't got them on the chart, but yeah, got it all back in the end. Adding another sell stop under the lows. So looking for that sort of movement at the open. And as it's coming down quite nicely at the open, so is the S&P. No real strong move, but opening bearish. Morning, Mayo. It almost seems like it's better to skip the opening volatility and wait for more stable price action before getting in. Yeah, there is that train of thought. It's up to you whether you want to trade the open or not. A lot of people don't trade the open. A lot of people don't trade until 1 hour in. Everything is hit and miss, isn't it, in trading? So the nice thing about the open is, and why I like it, is you can catch that initial volatility. So if you're going to go into a trend session, what you tend to do is at the open, you'll either get a fake out and it'll trend off in either direction, or it will just go out the gates like that. Either way, if you lose one and catch a trend, it's brilliant. And you can basically be done for the day in the session. Literally within 15 minutes, I can be done for the day. That's why I like the opening volatility. The danger of the opening volatility, as we've seen, is the whipsaw, and you don't know. It whipsaws less than it does trend at the open, but you just have to take the rough with the smooth. But if you want to be wait for more stable market conditions, and yeah, wait as long as you want. A lot of people will do the play the 15-minute opening range breakout, but I find quite often you miss that initial move after the 15-minute. So I'm just going to take that sell stop off here because I've got an opening range. I'm auto trading the opening range breakout as well, so I don't want to double up on that trade if it does go short. Morning, Trevor. But hopefully the clear thing is there's no way of predicting anything. It's completely random. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. If you catch it, you're done. That's why I kind of like it. You know, if you can bag whatever your target is, you know, if you can bag it by half an hour into the session, that's it. Who doesn't want to work half an hour a day for 1% of a 50k, 100k account or whatever you've got? Just about to stop out on pound US dollar. Just have. Oh no, I haven't. My other account, I'm trading this on my funded account as well. I've just stopped out on it on that one. Had a tighter stop on that one. Okay, so just testing these opening range lows at the minute. I'm rejecting by the looks of things. Franco, no index trading, but got back most of my week's losses. Cool. Wow, Aussie dollar, US dollar's off. Off. Just watching the Aussie dollar, US dollar coming down, and US dollar CAD. Bye bye. Big, strong push higher in the US dollar at the open. There's no news overnight. News today as well, by the way. All we've got is CAD unemployment at 130. So that's all you've got to worry about. CAD. If you've got any CAD on, worry about CAD. If you haven't got any CAD on, don't worry about it. Pound is currently the weakest currency. Something else is the strongest currency. Can't see. That one? Canadian dollar, we reckon, isn't it? Or is that the Aussie? That's the Aussie. That's CAD. CAD is strongest. Pound is weakest. Morning, Stevie. In case you're interested. ECB will raise interest rates by 25 basis points in September and December. Might get a reaction to that. It's factored in though. Lagarde has already said they're going to raise the interest rates by the end of the year, so it's not really red news. Just red news just come in, but it's not really red. We know about that. Nice quiet open. So if we get this break of the opening range lows, obviously just look for trend continuation short. We've had a nice little push this morning to the upside, so we'll see if we get that as high of day. There's a 70% chance at the open that you are putting in the high or the low of the day. So 7 out of 10 days, 2 to 3 days a week. The open is the high or the low, obviously depending which it is. So the odds are in your favour when you open. If you break out the lows, you are actually going that direction for the session. Of course, the rest of the time you get chopped to pieces and just lose loads of money. C'est la vie. Not really any any movement this morning by the looks of things as yet. Okay, so just putting a new high. So we'll see if we can break these lows. If we get a break of these lows, we'll be good for shorts, I think, but we'll see. Very subdued open this morning. I think we'll leave that for a minute and just let that unfold. It's looking slightly bullish, but obviously we've gone nowhere yet. So we'll see where that goes. Leave it for a minute. So as I said, nothing on the RSIs this morning. No extensions at all. Very, very quiet for a session. The hourlies, the 4 hourlies, just stopped out of one DAX on my other account. Just approaching stop out on this one. Let's see what we do here. So potentially looking for that type of movement. So on the 4 hourlies, every time you think it's going to move, it just stops. We've got the euro pound, which is just coming down towards these lows. I was looking for maybe taking a long down here, but it hasn't got there. So euro pound is obviously was extended again on the 4 hourly. It's just ticked up again. Not a great move. We are still pushing lower, so we've got divergence formed now on the euro pound, which is why I was kind of interested in it down here, but we didn't get there. So we've got bullish divergence forming. It is starting to go this morning, but I'm not quite sure how far you're going to get with it, to be honest. Lovely A-shaped recovery, so we tend to find that sort of movement going in. If you look at it as a sort of larger structure, it's a very, very top heavy head and shoulders. So this is kind of the neckline, which is already broken, but it's rejecting. As I said, head and shoulders patterns fail way more than they succeed. And if you're selling into this, you're selling straight into support with an extended RSI. So not really the best place to be selling it down here. But I'd like it to be a double bottom bounce, really, to take a long on the euro. I need something to convince me, really, that the euro is going long. So it is extended. And if you're inclined to long the euro, then this is looking pretty good. Euro US dollar as well. Obviously, US dollar's just powered up massively this morning at the open. Whether or not that's a fake move and a stop hunt, who knows? But certainly looks like a stop hunt on the US dollar CAD at the moment. So they've just literally raided all the liquidity of the Asian high. Everybody that shorted the bearish market structure today is now dead. So yeah, it looks like potentially reversal on that one. Oh, here we go. So I'm just quickly taking a short on the DAX. Buy. Oh, opening range breakouts turned on. I didn't want to date that one. Never mind. I'll leave it. Nothing I can do now. I'm going to add to the opening range breakout on these lows. That's the problem with the opening range breakout on the 1 minute chart. Really designed the opening range breakout to work on 5 minutes, but anyway. So yeah, so euro US dollar is obviously coming down. It's coming down very nicely now. DAX. So I'm just going to watch this for a second while we've got some price action coming in. I just want to see where they take it. So looking for a break of these lows, obviously to give us some bearish market structure at the open. At the moment, all we've got is slightly bullish. It's rejected those lows. Can't really make its mind up, can it? Okay, we'll leave that for a minute. It'll suddenly start flying again. It's the danger of watching it on your other monitors. The US dollar is absolutely flying. Everything is coming down very, very hard. Pound US dollar and Euro US dollar completely fallen out of bed. Pound US dollar way worse, much weaker pound. This thing's completely gone. Let's get rid of that now. Don't need that anymore. Yeah, so this area has been completely taken out down here. Get rid of those. Actually, I'll leave that lower one in case we get a bounce back up into it. But yeah, that's completely fallen out of bed. So Euro US dollar was the other one we're looking at. So this is nicely extended on the 4 hour, but again, embedded. Again, just don't want to long the euro, regardless of what happens from a mean reversion perspective. I want to get into trends on this, and this thing hasn't given us any opportunity to get into a trend for ages. As I say, I took these shorts, which were quite risky, but I took them because we broke that low and was expecting us to come up and retest that area. I had another pending order, if you remember up there. I had a limit order there to add into another position for a short bounce off of that high level. Didn't even get to it, just collapsed down and still going. So embedded, good strength coming through on the US dollar now, weakness obviously on the euro as well. So don't really want to long it. It's not a mean reversion trade, not a good one. So yeah, nothing there. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, again, New Zealand dollar and the Aussie are weakening at the minute. We are just coming down to an interesting level on this. This area here is where we've rejected previously. We are ever so slightly bullish on New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and we're coming down into this area now. Obviously, there's a lot of movement on the US dollar. So it depends whether or not this power up is going to last this morning, or whether this is just reaching for liquidity. If it is, obviously this is where we're probably going to bounce from quite nicely. So not really extended very much at all though. So we have only just got down into the RSI extension on this, but worth a shot if we get some bullish price action. So you can drop down to M5 on this, monitor for a reversal alert in this area or coming out of this area. So the reversal alert at the moment is going to be just above the high of that range down there. So that's the sort of bounce we'd be looking for. So wait for a reversal alert on M5 if you want to take that. But obviously if it just collapses straight through the bottom like it did with the pound this morning, it's a breakout short. So look for a rebound and continuation down with more US dollar strength. These indices really are not going anywhere this morning. Got symmetrical triangles forming across the Nasdaq and the S&P. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart, by the way. Both the same, Nasdaq and the S&P. It's going to go one way or the other. Looks like a bullish symmetrical triangle to me, but we'll see. Same on the DAX, really. See which way we go. Right, so looking like we're pushing out the highs at the minute. US dollar CAD just been taken out of that short. So this looks like it's teeing up to be a little bit of a whippy one again. We'll see if we get this break. There we go, got the break. Right, so this is potentially double top. So we need to watch to see if we get a break and continuation this morning. So US dollar CAD is the other 4 hour extension, along with the US dollar Swiss. So again, US dollar nice and strong this morning, good movement. We've got a lovely rejection to the downside on this. Lots and lots of wicks. Not interested really in going any lower, but equally we're not going any higher either on it. So we've been stuck quite range bound for the last day or so on the US dollar. So we got Canadian dollar news this afternoon, so we could well see a big movement off of this one. But we need to wait until this afternoon. You're not really going to get anything massively happening on this one, I don't think, until sort of 1:30ish when we get the news coming out. But very nice extended to the upside. If we get the positive Canadian dollar unemployment, we could see a big strong push in the CAD, which will obviously bring this down. Nicely extended to the upside. Good indecision candles here. Yeah, market's really got no idea where it wants to go from this level. But we're not really at a particularly strong support resistance because this thing's just been grinding. So we try to get up to this wick, but again, it's just hovering around there. So the only thing really going for this one is you're in the 24.72 zone, massively extended on the RSI. So I say massively, not massively, but you are extended. So good looking opportunity for potentially a short there, dropping down onto sort of M15. As you can see, we've just been hovering at the moment, just taken out the highs of yesterday. So reverse alert short. And US dollar Swiss is the other one that's extended on the 4 hours. Oops. Again, not really reaching any levels of interest at all. This is somewhere we've rejected previously, which we're kind of getting up to roughly an area. But it's so difficult to pick a direction on these at the minute with the US dollar. But obviously we are nicely extended. We should be expecting a pullback on this move. Lovely big gap there created by the news. So yeah, good long. But obviously pullback and then long. So nice short opportunity right now. Again, dropping down to M5, M15. Just had one. So just had a reverse alert. Beautiful M, uneven M, stop hunt M. And also got a retest. So it looks like a good short on the US dollar Swiss. DAX is coming off the highs, playing its usual whipsaw games today. So I'm going to add into this long down here. If we get down here, I'm going to assume that we're going high today. So we've just taken out the highs, the pre-session highs. See what happens with that. So yeah, apart from that, nothing much else today of interest. I'm going to take US dollar Swiss short. This is the better of the two, I think. US dollar Swiss up here. Very nice big push, and we haven't really stopped. And we've got also this nice level that we're coming up to as potential resistance. So nice for potentially a short opportunity where we are now, but I'm going to wait until we get a move down. So we've pushed down, we've retested, so I'm going to wait for it to break this double bottom on M15 and then push down from there. Five. So TP just above that potential support if we're going to bounce longer. It's got a lot further this can go. Obviously we've got this. This is really where I think we're going to probably come down and retest, but I'm not going to get greedy with it. The risk reward on it is huge as it is where we are there. So see how that one plays out. What's going on with that euro? Euro yen starting to roll back over again. That's good. I'm just trying to see where we're potentially heading on the DAX. 14,322. If we're going up, 14,3. So basically yesterday's high as a target. Target 1. Just reducing the risk on that additional, because I'm adding into this losing trade, so I'm not taking 0.5% risk. I'm just reducing the risk on that position by a couple of percentile. But if this is going long today, this is where I'm looking for the bounce. As I said yesterday, I'm using my shadow indicator on the on my other monitors just to test out. Really clearly shows you the trend. It's much easier to see the trend when you've got it coloured in like this, obviously, especially when you're trading 1 minute. You're looking for signs of weakness, and you can see obviously the more you tap into that 2050 zone, the weaker the trend is, the stronger the trend. You don't get these little kind of white patches here. Yeah. These show you the signs of weakness in the trend. The trend's starting to roll over. But I'm kind of getting used to it, so I might flick over to using that on my normal sort of scalping layout as well. Hopefully I won't have to keep doing this scalping for long. Market will get back to a bit more normality and can get back to position trading again, but still not sure where we're going at the moment with what's going on with the war and everything. So, and obviously the economics at the minute with inflation and everything are all over the place. We're just breaking down again below the lows. We're about to get a reversal, can get stopped out and all this. Again, another dodgy session by the looks of things. Whipsaw, usually around about 1.5 to 2% losses in whipsaws, and then get it all back when it starts to trend, but we're not getting the trend at the open. I just took my funded account up to 2,300 in profit. Now I'm back down to 700. Literally, I am ping-ponging that account up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. It's just not working. It's because I'm trying to get this buffer built. I'm not trading normally. Psychology gets completely screwed when you get into real money funding at that level, and it's just bleh. It's hard work. So we've broken down below the 50 now on this one, so I'm just going to move this stop up. Potentially we're double bottoming here, but if we break those lows, I want to be out a little bit sooner. No point in taking a full loss on it. If we have still obviously just we have put in a potentially new bullish market structure, but it's just very whippy in it. Oil's coming down fairly hard at the open today as well. Again, let's have a quick look at oil and gold. I haven't looked at them for a while. So oil, looking for long opportunities on oil. We've got a lovely double bottom bounce yesterday on that. But again, it's back into this. We had this sort of nice little bull trend that was formed. And when the war kicked off, obviously we had that big spike. So rumours of war actually kicking off. So we literally came straight back and returned to origin of where we were before. We've tried to put in new highs, and obviously with what's gone on with energy supply, with other countries stepping up to supply, the price of oil's kind of restabilized again. But I still think we'll be pushing harder on the longs than we will on the shorts. $95 a barrel is pretty much where the market has stabilized and is happy, and that is where we were prior the Ukraine situation. So I think just basically pushing longs off of this sort of level when we get back to here is a good play if you want to trade oil. But it's certainly not looking to break the 125 level that we got to previously at the moment. So unless something changes on that, I think it's just going to be business as usual. Slow grind continuing upwards. Gold as well. We were looking for longs on gold. Still not done anything. Again, pre-market, war rumor, war kicking off, stabilization, back into balance. This is where it's happy to trade. It's so tight, the range now. So tight. It's just no one's interested in anything but 1930 at the minute. So sideways, completely sideways on the 24 moving average. So again, I'd be looking for long opportunities, but you've just got to be in it really and try not to get stopped out of it. And then when it goes, go with it. But you'd be sitting in this for, I don't know, however long, not going anywhere. We're either in crazy moves that are unrealistic you can't get into, or we're not going anywhere. It's the market at the minute. It's so hard. You can't trend trade it. You can't mean reversion it. You can't do anything with it. You just got to get in and get out as fast as you can and try and steal some money out of the market. Nothing's moving, or it's just moving, as we've seen with the yens, ridiculously. And now we've gone, look at the yen now. Yeah, untradeable. If you got in a trade on Monday, you're still in it. It's Friday. You just can't do anything, can you? Awful conditions. It's like literally like trying to get blood out of a stone at the moment. Whatever time frame you're on, you either catch a lucky one or you don't. Putin's been very, very quiet this week as well. We've had nothing out of Putin. We had a flurry of news yesterday coming out of Russia, but Putin's been deadly silent all week. I think he's losing. Maybe someone's taking him out. That's why he's quiet. But yeah, it's very, very quiet on that front at the moment. So expecting something to shake the markets up at some point fairly soon, but it's just kind of business as usual, isn't it? This is a non-event, this session at the moment. So I would look for where we are roughly, it's 8:30. So I would look for where we are roughly 9 o'clock, somewhere between 9:30. That's when I suspect they will probably decide to move this because they're not going anywhere at the moment. We may well just sit in this hideous movement sideways for the entire session. But we're certainly not interested in going anywhere today. Chop. So there's our open. And there's where we are now. Bang in the middle. Flip a coin. Pick a direction. Cross your fingers. So this afternoon we've got 1:30 news with Canadian dollar. So if you've got any CAD on, obviously keep an eye on that around that sort of time. US dollar CAD. just as a trade idea, obviously we looked at this one and it's nicely extended. We're just pushing up a little bit more US dollar strength starting to show through again. Not massively strong. It's just getting stalled at the highs at the minute. As a trade idea on this one, obviously we're pretty range bound. So getting in on these lows, I might actually try this one. Worth a bash, I think. Bearing in mind what the market's doing so far today. What's the risk on that? That's not right, is it? Bit of a news trade, basically. Looking for positive CAD numbers this afternoon. And if you look at the historical data on the CAD unemployment, it tends to be substantially better than forecast, or kind of roughly around about forecast. So looking for a substantially better result, decent CAD movement, you've got more chance of there being a substantially better result. They seem to underestimate quite a lot on the unemployment side of things. So looking for that basically, and assuming that we get the positive move off the CAD on the back of that, get gathered up into a trade to go short, and a continuation push. We know the CAD can power up very, very nicely. So not very high risk reward on it. I might actually move that down to the Asian highs. Depends where we go for the beginning of the session, but just to reduce the risk on it a little bit. But just looking basically to get a move down off the news, maybe get an ADR hit off the back of the news as a trade idea for a short. Just based on the fact that we are extended and we are due a pullback on this. So and we're up at the 24. So it's just in a nice spot, isn't it? But other than that, it's just flat, isn't it? It's just no movement anywhere. So just trying to find trade ideas to try and squeeze something out the Forex market at the minute. It's very hard work trying to find anything. Just had a reverse alert on the Euro Yen on that short that I'm in on M5, which is good. But again, still not gone anywhere so far this session. DAX just pushing back up to the opening range highs. It's very lethargic. So good rejection up there. Painting a bit of a can't really class that as a shoulder. This is potentially the right shoulder. That would be a neckline break if it's a short, but at the moment it's neither. Sideways. So going to hold this one as a long. I'm just going to monitor. I'm set up to take opening range breakout short automatically anyway. So my trade idea today was to go short, flip long on the price action, and obviously it's not really wanting to do either. So I'm more short biased than long biased today. So I'm going to take the opening range breakout on the low, and then I'll add to that if it does break out to the low with a view of look at this. Look at this. Chop. With a view to obviously coming all the way down today and potentially further. But we'll see. At the moment, it just doesn't want to go anywhere. FTSE's just managed to put in a new high. Just. S&P also just trying to go higher. Everything's trying to go higher. But yeah, Japan's talking heads doing their best to talk the yen stronger, but it's not having much effect so far. No, they've been piping the yen. This is what I've been saying, to short the yen off the back of those just been wanting to get. I've been praying for it to get up here. I haven't been praying. I'm not religious. I've been wanting it very hard to get up there, but it's not getting there. So I'm looking for a liquidity run, basically. So we got this lovely move back down. There'll be so much short money sitting here and so much cash sitting at the highs there. I'm so surprised we haven't double topped it. If we do, it's potentially a lovely short. They've been doing a good job of talking up the strength on the yen, but like you say, the market is not interested at the minute. The Fear and Greed Index is coming out, is published twice a day. Every day it's coming out as fear and neutral, fear and neutral, fear and neutral. There is no risk on appetite in the market at all, and that's when we see the yen move and the Swissy move. We're not getting any of it, are we, at the minute? It's just not happening. So I think all the time we've got this war hovering over us and higher inflation, we need to have a kind of bearish stance on virtually everything. Nothing is going to perform well, and the problem with that type of market is when the outlook is poor across virtually everything, you end up getting an awful lot of this, because a weak currency against a weak currency equals a range, same as a strong currency against a strong currency equals a range. When we get trends, a trend is the output of a strong currency against a weak currency. Therefore, we get a trending market. At the minute, we've got nothing strong, nothing weak, and nobody's got any risk on in any currency. So this is why we're seeing a lot of this. We're getting these spikes of hope, and then everything's getting undone. So it's like at the moment, this is why I'm kind of watching this hourly a lot. And you've seen the entries that I've taken this week on Forex have been mainly based off of strength and fades, because we're getting the strength and then everything's getting faded immediately, because it's like, oh look, oh no, I don't want to chance it. I think the market is just scared at the minute. There's no money coming into commodities, metals. It's just no money coming in. You know, it's flat as a pancake. Oops. It's just, yeah, even Bitcoin, you know, just, we're not going anywhere. Nothing's going anywhere. So small time frames. And yeah, all you got to do literally is hope you get caught on a news spike. That's literally life at the minute. Yen needs China to start coming out of lockdown before we see any real strength coming through. Yen needs loads of stuff. Yen needs the war to stop, basically. They're primed, ready to go, but nothing's happening with anything. So, yeah. Sitting through a lot of chop, catching the odd wave. Feel like a surfer at the minute in a flat sea. It's just hard, very hard. Doesn't matter what you're trading. It's either off, like I said yesterday, it's either, this is why I'm playing the opening range breakouts a little bit more at the moment. It's either off and then it goes like that. We saw that with the DAX yesterday, didn't we? Off, you can't get on it because it moves so fast, and then it goes and sits in an accumulation. It's like, we're not going to tell you which way we're going, and when we get there, we're not going to do anything. And then it's like, right, we're going to go up or down. Did you catch us? No? Oh, okay. And you're trying to catch this, but you can't get on board. Normally, we're waiting for pullbacks and jumping on. You can't get on board at the moment because it just moves so quick. It's very, very difficult. And that's on all time frames as well. You know, the moves that we're seeing in everything are just, they're big, they're fast, they're strong, and then they're choppy. You know, you can't catch the pullbacks very easily on anything. But just got to deal with it at the minute. Normality will return. Either that or we'll just go into the Walking Dead era, and that'll be the end of it. There's a lot of somebody posted a video on Facebook. I can't remember who it was. There's a professor. I can't remember what his name is. He's 93 years old. He's very kind of renowned type professor. But general gist of the article was humanity is basically entering its most critical phase of its existence. With what we've got going on with the pandemic, coupled with the economic crisis, coupled with the population explosion and strain on resources, coupled with the threat of nuclear war and World War III. World War III being the first time we've actually all had nukes. World War II, we developed them. World War III, we've all got them. And it's just like, when you read the article, there's nothing positive there. It's like finance is collapsing, relationships are collapsing, health is collapsing. The only thing we need is an asteroid or an alien invasion, yeah, and that'll basically top it off. So, and I think this is what everyone's just putting all their money in their pockets and going, nah, not going to trade anymore. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing these just ranges. But anywho, hopefully that doesn't happen. Post-apocalyptic world. I don't want to be stuck in the UK during the end of the world. I want to be on a desert island or something with some sun. Steal a boat. Best thing to do. Right. So I'm holding long at the moment. Fascism is on the rise. Yeah, I mean, that's what started World War II, wasn't it? Everybody is so angry. Everybody is just so angry at the minute. It just feels like the world has just gone angry. In 10 or 20 years' time, I think we'll probably look back on this and go, hang on a minute, everybody started getting angry when the internet took off. Back in the 80s and 90s, and it'll be like, hang on a minute. We suddenly had access to lots more information, and it just changed the psyche, basically. But who knows? Spirit is also always down after the rent is paid. Yeah. Everybody's happy on payday. Everybody's depressed the day after payday. Which is why we don't have paydays. We just build up pots of cash and take out what we need when we need it. Well, that's the goal anyway. Speaking of pots of cash, we need this high taken out. If we get this high taken out, I'm probably going to get out, to be honest, somewhere up there, because this thing is a hideous slow monster at the minute. But we are looking more bullish than bearish at the moment. I've just gone positive on my other account as well. Not quite sure where I'm going to go with this. I think yesterday's high really, based on this price action, if you look at this on a 5-minute chart, based on this price action at the minute, I'd be very surprised if we don't get a bounce at yesterday's high. If we get there, and from there potentially we could just chop. So I don't know. I think probably that is where I'm gonna. I'll see what profit I've got on the board if we get up there. It's a big if at the moment. And I think I'll probably call that a session. Doesn't even look like I'm going to get that, does it? Right, well, I'll call it a day there because there's nothing happening. So, can't really do anything. So, just to recap, Aussie CAD looking for a short entry. US dollar CAD looking for a short entry on the M15 reversal alert. We'll get down there. Euro yen, I've got short on still. Obviously, we haven't gone anywhere. So, looking for continuation short on that. I've got a US dollar Swiss short under these lows. So we've basically had the M pattern reversal, stop hunt reversal, and we've also retested twice now. So nice wicks rejection there. So going to get in a short on the US dollar Swiss as well. So US dollar CAD, US dollar Swiss short as mean reversion trades, and that euro yen. So we'll see how we get on with those. But apart from that, I've not really got anything else I'm interested in at the minute. Everything's a bit confusing from a directional bias. And this one, as I say, I'm going to ride this one higher and see where it goes. If it goes anywhere. Franco, sorry, not feeling it tonight. Going to watch a disaster movie to feel better. Good one. Yeah. It's better than watching the news, isn't it? Yeah, you're better off watching something like Moonfall. End of the Earth. It's better than the news. That's all we get. Doom, gloom. Right. So I'm going to let this one go sideways for the next 24 hours. Then I'll come back on when that's finished. But I'll be back on at 2:20 this afternoon, usual time, ahead of the New York session. We'll see if we can get some movement. But yeah, keep an eye on this. I don't think we're going to get a trend on this today. So anything really. So I think we've got more chance of one of the FX pairs going. GA has just retraced the full last 1 hour candle. Yeah, big strong move up. Railroad tracks. It's not quite. It's an inside bar. I mean, you got a little accumulation here. And then we pushed. So there's potentially buyers sitting in there looking to long it again. But yeah, it's just chop. The market doesn't want to go anywhere today. So, you know, all this is literally the algorithm's pushing down, pushing back up. There's no orders to put into the market to move this anywhere. So therefore, they're just going to milk it with the algorithms until they need to dump some money. But there's nothing, obviously you can see there's nothing to dump at the moment by the looks of things. It would have happened at the open if it was going to happen. Would have started, but we'll see. So yeah, just keep an eye on everything. Canadian dollar obviously is going to be your primary income source this afternoon at 1:30 if they decide to move with that one. Other than that, bleh, nothing else happening. All right, so I'll be back at 2:20. We'll see how we're getting on then. See if we get some movement. And yeah, good luck this morning. Okay, guys, have a good one. In the Telegram group if you need me. Otherwise, I'll see you 2:20.